Wepper, can you hear me now? Okay, I don't know why Wepper does not have sound. I am recording this, and it will go up later today, sometime after the market opens. Ha 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 ha. I don't know what time I'll put it up, but I will put it up later today. The first thing that I want to start with is on gold. Gold is at an ATR on the 180-minute chart. Let me bring that over so y'all can see it. Here's your ATR on the 180. Now, it does have the potential for pulling back on the 720. Also has the potential of pulling back on the 1440. What is in the way? The 180-minute ATR. And you can see there's just no buying volume in gold as of this moment. Okay? So we could see gold go down. Let's go look at crude. Crude is going up. You do have magenta in the ADX, so this tells us this is a strong uptrend. We are also in an uptrend on the 720-minute chart. We have had a magenta peak, and that has not completed the retracement back to the ATR. What does that coincide with? Price being at an ATR here. This bar, I believe it ends at 9 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. Come on. Be nice to me this morning. Yeah, it does end at 9 o'clock. And as it stands right now, guys, there's significant divergence there. Okay? So we may see the retracement on crude complete today. The lower time frames are not supporting that move right now. But it's got, okay, price is currently at 59.50. The ATR is at 59.72. So it's got about 25-cent movement to actually touch that ATR. Does everybody understand that one? Whether it can break this ATR is going to be the key in crude today, in my opinion. Okay, if it's unable to break that ATR, and right now there's no buying coming in, we'll see a downward movement in crude. Any questions? Y'all need some coffee this morning, guys. All right, on the NASDAQ, we're in an uptrend. We just tested this ATR, okay, and they were unable to break it, so we're moving up. They have been able to close above this congestion. Well, let me go to the 720 first. I need the 720 up here. This is reversed to me. We did break through this congestion dot, so we're going back to test this ATR. You already have divergence on the way back to that ATR, okay? So this tells me that buyers are not really coming into the NASDAQ. When we look up at the 180, we have closed above this congestion dot, but what typically happens when we close above a congestion dot? It typically will come back and test the ATR to make sure that it forms support, correct? So I'm expecting some downward movement to come back to test this ATR. You also see that we have an ADX that went straight from red to blue. Normally, this will give us a magenta peak when that happens. Okay? Everybody understand that? So I'm not real eager to go into the NASDAQ this morning because this is saying up, this is saying potentially a little bit to the upside and then down. And this, when you apply the concept of, okay, it's broken the resistance area, it needs to test for support, that test for support needs to occur. Okay? Now, on the Dow, I've told everybody I'm not worried about trading the Dow right now. It is trying to break out of that area that we saw that had a lot of resistance in that area. I do think it will at least get back to this ATR at 18,087, but I do think it will come back and test this ATR. So again, I'm not real ambitious in going in the Dow right now. Okay? Let's go and look at the S&P 500. You're already getting short divergence on the 45-minute. The ADX is at right about 62. Okay, do you see how the buyers on this last bar? I mean, between here and here, that is significant divergence on the Dow. Okay, I mean on the S&P 500. When you look over here, do you see how you're approaching this ATR? You also know that you have a congestion dot over here. Yes, it's managed to close above this just like the NASDAQ did, but I would expect some downward movement to test the ATR. Now, everybody knows those days that we get where the market opens and it spikes up and then it spikes back down. We've all seen that in the market, and everybody's going, oh, they're running stops this morning. Okay. Today, that's what I'm anticipating. That's why I'm not eager to be in these markets, okay? Because this is saying, okay, up to 21.21, okay? This was saying, well, it may only get to 21.15. That's only 8 points, okay? And this is saying, yes, it may go up, but it is going to come back and try to test the ATR, okay? So by the time you get into it, they're going to spike it down, run your stop, and then you're going to be mad and blame it on them when really the charts are not lining up this morning. Do y'all see that? So why put yourself through misery? All right, let's go over and let's look at the 6E. If I can remember what that symbol is in multi-chart. Seems like it's EU. Oh yeah, there we have it. The EU is the only one I'm really interested in at all today. I think it's going to go down and make a new low. Do you see how this is coming back to this ATR, which happens to be at 1002? Okay, you're also getting a magenta peak over here that tells you it's going to come back to 1.0816. Now, it could actually bounce up and test this ATR. Same concept that we have been applying. Okay? Exactly the same. But I think because this is being fueled by these two time frames, I think it's actually going to come down. Do y'all understand that one? And that was actually the best trade. Your entry for this magenta peak was back last night, well, early this morning, around 3 o'clock, okay? To me, this was the best entry, okay? And again, I'm expecting this one to go down. Now, for those of you, I did a special video just for annual members, and you can see I have these black lines here. Those are the daily highs and lows, okay? It's not the congestion zone. It's daily highs and lows, okay? So I know when I'm going into a daily high or into a daily low. For example, on the ES, you're touching this black line. It tells me that we are at a daily high, okay? If it comes back to here, we are at either a daily high or a daily low. On crude, we don't have anything until it gets to 59.86 on the 45-minute chart. So we may see initially it spikes up and then spikes down. Again, you know, the charts are showing today it's prone to do that. Yeah, it's just the THD zones indicator, not the congestion zones, just the zones. Well, it's to let you know that's a different indicator. It's not from the congestion dots. Okay? Yeah, the THD zones. And they work in multi-charts trade station in Ninja Trader. But, you know, you can see right now the British pound is coming up to a daily, and we don't know whether it's a high or a low, and it doesn't really matter. All you need to know is if price is above it, it's going to support it. If price is below, it's going to act as resistance. Do y'all understand that? Any questions on it this morning, guys? This is not to be meant to be a long session. It's meant to give you what I see as it stands at 7:30 this morning. Okay? So you can see if you're seeing the markets the same way that I'm seeing the markets. Okay? It's intraday zones, Christian. The daily zones will give you the weekly highs and lows. I think we have one other one that gives us the monthly. So you want the intraday zones. Any questions on that? And I mean, by far the best trades, and you know, I called them yesterday, was on the DAX, where you know I actually expect it to go up into here. And on the euro, because I expect it to come down to here. There was a 100-pip move to the downside on the euro. Does everybody understand that? To me, those were the best trades. You know, of course, you know, if you get married to a particular market, then you're not looking for the best trade. You're only looking at that market. You know, which would you rather trade? Something like this that has something at every single level, or something that's just clear? You know, to me, it was clear. Yeah, well, I knew it was going to gap. It would probably gap yesterday because it was going to go up. You've made this triple bottom there. You know, it had to go up. Yeah, it was great, and I'm still expecting it to come down to actually about 1100 on that Wepper. Yeah, you probably saw it on this bar. And remember, it just broke through here. What do we expect? It will come back and test it. If I'd been able to do a binary on crude last night, I probably would have done a binary to the downside on crude, but I couldn't. They don't offer them until 6 o'clock Monday through Thursday. You can go out till the next day. And I checked this morning. I didn't like any of the spreads, so I didn't do them. Any other questions, guys? Because if not, I'm going to try to keep these sessions short and sweet. Just to give you a heads up on where I think the market's going to go, I am going to record the sessions, but they will not be made available until after the market opening. Okay? Yeah, I don't want it to be long drawn out because then I get bored. I just want it to be very quick to keep you on track of what you need to be looking at, which is your higher time frames. But we get so involved with those lower time frames. It's like, oh, I got to get in, you know. On the ES, I'm just not interested in the ES right now. You've got a time frame that says, okay, it could go up to 2120. Another time frame says, okay, it might stop at 2115. And then you have to stop and read the volume. That's only 8 points away. I'm not interested in that. Why would you be interested in 8 points when you could do, 100 tick move to the downside? Looking at the wrong markets. All right. I hope everybody has a wonderful day trading, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Same time, same place.